Good morning, everybody. This is Encounters. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, and we'll be on here for till about 10:30. This is a 1-hour show. Yes, indeed. So this is not our regular programming. So we're going to do 1 hour of Encounters this morning, and welcome if you're new. Last night's show was phenomenal. That show is on my YouTube channel, Astronaut Command Spaceship News. I'll repeat the YouTube channel, Astronaut Command Spaceship News. We had Michelle, who was a guest on our show last night, who at 19 years old was taken in the Navy to Antarctica, and you're going to want to watch that. Plus, we also had another gentleman who was in the Canadian military, and it was in Afghanistan. And on that show, you also hear how the military was shooting at unknown objects in the sky, luminous objects, and you'll hear the whole story about what happened with him. And also, we had him on. We actually did some work. He had a implant up in his head area. And last night, you'll see as you watch the show that we took out the implant remotely from where we were. And it was quite a show. We had Ashley on and Ellie on talking about the new guidelines for the police department and the fire department regarding extraterrestrial encounters. That's all on the show. It's recorded on my YouTube channel, Astronaut Command Spaceship News. You'll want to watch it. You can also watch all the previous shows. We're caught up with every show. And so, welcome to Encounter. If you're new to Encounters, Etheric Mystic, good to see everybody in here. We'll be on here till about 10:30 for 1 hour. So we're going to try to fit a lot of stuff in here. High vibes, good to see you. Thank you for the roses. We're going to try to fit a lot of stuff in here. Jojo, thank you for your heart me. And also I'm going to set my goals here. I'm doing my goals for today's show. And we're going to do the hanging lights. So I switch it up every once in a while. I'm going to do hanging lights as the TikTok gift, but you can gift me any kind of gift you want on the TikTok gift list. Hectic Loving, thanks for coming in. Welcome. And, thank you. Thank you. I love this shirt too. Lusting Artist, thank you. And so as you're going to see, there's a lot going on. And the thing with Antarctica is that this person, when she was 19, and you'll watch it on the show on YouTube, she was taken to another Antarctica base and then missing for 3 days. She was missing for 3 days. Dee, thank you for the roses. And was taken into Antarctica. Taken into the inner earth. She says there was one big city. She saw many different types of people in the inner earth. And she was in a room or something with all these different people around her. But she had been missing for 3 days. And she will talk about the fact that during our interview that she is still telepathically in contact with the beings, which I think are connected still to the people in Antarctica. And if you missed the show, it was an incredible show. My guest also from Canada was in the military, and he also talked about a base in the Alberta area in the western part of Canada that is a multi-level facility where world governments are working probably with lower vibrational ETs or multi-level, and again, a multi-level facility that exists in Canada, he talked about. And so there's a lot of information in last night's show that I think you're going to be pretty impressed with. Hello, good to see you. Hello. One Toyota, good to see you. Rachel, good to see you. Everybody in here. Good morning. And we're glad to have everybody with us here this morning. Yes, it's a beautiful day. It's Thursday. It's a beautiful sunny day. I also want to really heavily promote what's happening Saturday night. Saturday night, if you're in the New England region or in the region, I need to get a head count of how many people are coming to our major event Saturday night on the Long Island Sound here in Connecticut, on the Connecticut side in Madison, Connecticut. We're gathering our Ashtar Command contact group. This is going to be a major event. We're going to be starting around 8 o'clock, 8:30. We're going to be right on the water. and we're actually going to have our group together to make visual contact with our space brothers. We're going to be using our Ashtar Command protocol, which is a protocol we created 13 years ago. We're going to incorporate Dr. Stephen Greer's C5 app protocol. Mercury Man, good to see you. Wild Moose Man, good to see you. Let me see. I think that is something we need to get that person out. All right. Not sure what that person's doing in our broadcast. Wild Moose Man is now gone. He has disappeared and out in the ethers. So definitely good to see you. Yaya Priestess, Crazy Paisley Lady. That's a good name. So we're having our gathering. If you're not knowing about it, it's a gathering of our C5 group, Contact with Extraterrestrial Intelligence here in Connecticut. And we wish to make sure everyone who can come gets prepared. If you're traveling from New York or Connecticut or Massachusetts or any of the New England states, again, please contact me directly on this. CmdrAleon at AOL.com. Again, it's CmdRAleon at AOL.com. That's my email for the show. And I'll be able to converse with you on email about directions and how to get to Madison, Connecticut on the beach. We have facilities there. The restroom facilities will be open till 11 o'clock. So make sure you bring water. Make sure you bring some snacks if you wish to bring some snacks. There'll be benches there in front of the building, which is right looking at the water. So we're right on the water, and it's going to be really a very important event for us. So we've been looking forward to this for a while, and so we're going to broadcast it on TikTok, and so you'll be able to see whatever we see, whatever happens, you'll be able to see it as well. And I suspect we're going to have some interesting activity. It's going to be incredibly clear, and so yeah, very, very clear. Welcome to our 1 hour show this morning. You're watching Encounters, the nighttime show, the most popular UFO spiritual talk show on social media. We had over 400 people on last night, which is not unheard of. We average about 250 to 300 people, and there'll be nights when we have 400 people, and it's pretty much the way it is. Now, if any of you out there have had any experiences, for me, I'm a contactee. Just to give you some background, my contactee experiences when I was a kid with space people with light blue outfits, men and women in a spaceship in a saucer type craft that actually were, basically almost at ground level. And I went into my brother's room. This is the 1960s, and looked out the window. And oh, there's the cat. Where's she? Oh, what's going on? You want to come up on the show? You can't get in? I'm talking to my cat here. So, oh, you want to get in here? How are you going to do that? Oh, she's just going the other room. Okay. Hey, Marinette, good to see you. So my encounter was with very beautiful people. They weren't tall lights. They were just men and women that were in light blue outfits. They're very telepathic. And they told me when I was a kid that I didn't come from Earth. And it was the most beautiful experience I've ever had in my life. I never forgot it. I've always had it in my consciousness for years. When I got older, I became activated. I became more awake. I've always had spaceship sightings. In the 60s, I remember one night looking at the sky in a clear night sky in Long Island and seeing a fleet of spaceships, like in a fleet of them in like a perfect formation, all the way up in space, just like clear as I can see it. I've seen ships as large as 2 football fields. That was in the 1980s. I saw another ship that was a golden ship, sort of with hieroglyphics on it, and up towards New Milford, Connecticut. That was in the 1980s. I had a 2-way CB radio in the car. I was on Interstate 84 in Danbury. Got off the rest area because I saw this thing to the north of me. I had to get off. I was heading east. Got off at the 7-Eleven. Got on the radio and was in the parking lot saying, does anybody here see what I'm looking at? Does anybody see this spaceship that is huge that's spinning around to the north of me? And it was, I didn't know if anyone saw it or not, but I was just watching this thing, and it was for about a good 20 minutes. All right. So like I said, I've had a lot of experiences, and being a contactee, I'm telepathic, and I'm also activated. I actually have done remote healing on my show with people with implants. So I've actually taken out the implants from my location. I did that last night with the former military person that was in Canada. He talked about having an implant in the upper part of his area. And we did some work with him remotely, and we dissolved the implant. We destroyed the implant. You'll see it on my Astro Command spaceship, Astro Command Spaceship News channel on YouTube. I just posted it this morning. You'll see that interview and the interview with the woman from Antarctica that went to Antarctica at 19 years old. So I'm not just your normal talk show host on UFOs. I work with the Astro Command. I am part of that. And there's a whole story about that where we have space family. I have a mother and father from off planet, and also two sisters and a brother. And they are on a ship right now. When I am broadcasting my broadcasts here, they actually monitor my broadcasts on the spaceship. They have a monitoring system, and they monitor all my broadcasts absolutely all the time, including, all my nighttime broadcasts. Yaya Priest says she had a sighting. Yaya, I'm going to bring you up here. So here's the way it works. You have to be over 18, no kids on the show, no smoking, no vaping, no drinking, no drugs, no cursing, no paranormal discussion, no religion, and no politics. And please don't try to come on the show if you're driving, because that's not going to be good. So we're going to bring this person, Yaya. If she wishes to come up, she can. And if you have had an experience, positive ET experience with space people, real experiences, I want to interview you. I want to talk about your experiences as well. You have to be over 18. Like I said, I've got the rules of our show. I'm a professional broadcaster. I've been on radio since the 1970s when I was in Vermont, but I didn't do anything related to the subject until 21 years ago on NPR Pacifica Radio in Connecticut, WESU FM. And that's when I came out of the closet. So I'm a starseed, meaning that I know where I come from. I came here on purpose. I had an Earth-based mother and father. They're no longer alive in terms of being here. But I also have, again, my mother and my father on the spaceship. They are alive. My two sisters are, and my brother. And I'll be meeting them actually between now and probably next year for the first time. I have an implant in my right arm, a small metallic object, no scar. Vigilantes del Cosmos. If you'd like to come up, I would like to maybe work with you, tell us your story. And if you like, we can get rid of the implant. If you'd like to get rid of the implant, let me know. But I'd have to have you come on the program. Okay. Yeah, we can plan a day. I'm on at night too, Yaya. So look for me at nighttime around 11 o'clock, usually 11 o'clock. That's our regular big show. Anytime, if you come on any night after 11, if I see you there and say I can come on, we'll put you on the show. I appreciate that. Yes, Kelly, my family is on a spaceship. My cosmic family is. My mother, my father, two sisters, and brother. That's absolutely correct. FR4315. In 2023, I witnessed a silver bright saucer above a water tower in Long Island, Jones. I know where Jones Beach is. Palladian Starseed, beautiful. Hey, Brim, good to see you, brother. And you're watching the morning edition of Encounters. Will be on here till about 10:30. Vigilance del Cosmos. If you'd like to come up, there's a multi-guest option. Just press it and we can have you on the program. Ready, welcome. Lala Luna, welcome to our show. Kirby Brooks, welcome. Let's see here. It's good to have everybody here. And let me see, I'm just looking at the comments here. And don't be afraid to come up. The person that was that had the implants that had probably been abducted 7 years ago on a night when all the New York City airports were shut down, I saw several red orbs over my house. True Juice 7. Paranormal Ghostbusters, happy birthday to you, brother, in the Philippines. True Juice 7. If you'd like to come up and share that story, we'd love to have you again. I want to go over the rules of the program here. You have to be over 18. Number one, no cursing, no foul language, no drinking, no drunks, no vaping, no smoking, no paranormal discussion, no kids on the show, no paranormal discussion, no, no politics, no religion. I think that covers everything in terms of that. Let's see here. And I randomly select guests, so if I pull you up here and you see a pop-up coming up, and no driving, Sue, that's correct. And we'll see if anyone's interested in sharing their stories. And I do believe this gentleman is going to join us here on Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show at night. True Juice 7, welcome to the program.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, it's a pleasure to meet you. And what's your first name?
Troy.
Troy, nice to meet you, Troy. So I'm very interested in your comment. Yes, can you tell us a little bit about your story and when it happened?
It was approximately 6 to 7 years ago. It was a night where my daughter called me, hey, Daddy, come look. And I looked out our window from the porch. Actually, I was in the window, then I went to the porch, and I saw about 3 or 4 red orbs in a straight line. And then there was something above them that it appeared to be dropping them out. And then from 3, it went to, yes. From 3, then it went to 7, and then it was really crazy. But about an hour prior to that, all of the airlines, LaGuardia, which I'm not too far from, LaGuardia Airport, JFK Airport, were both shut down for some unknown reason. So
really,
yes, they were closed that night. Mm-hmm.
They were shut down, and that was during the time you were having this stuff happen, right?
Absolutely.
Interesting. So
and there was no solid explanation. There was no solid explanation from the media as to why the airports were closed. I forgot the excuse they used. I'd have to ask my daughter.
Yeah.
But there was no explanation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think? I can tell you. If my opinion has anything to do with it, I think they were told that they can't put anything in airspace because there was a spaceship and little ships coming out, or little, what's little? They were coming out from a larger ship being dropped out of the ship. You think that's, that kind of airline jet pilots go in the sky, say, we're 747 flight to Europe and we see these objects in the sky because the pilots aren't supposed to say anything. So interesting story. And how long did that last?
I'd say about at least a good solid 15 minutes.
Wow. 15 minutes.
It hovered it was there for a while. It had the neighborhood excited. People were looking up, and at least 40 to 50 people saw it, and it was absolutely nothing on the news.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be. If they told people the truth that happened, you'd have the whole place going upside down. I'm sure they were told by the Pentagon and other higher ups that you can't say anything. But now, was there the thing was coming out of? Did you see that craft, or were you not able to see that?
I was not able to see that, but they were absolutely dropping down, and it was the craziest thing. They were dropping down and were lined up in a formation.
Wow!
Like literally straight up and down.
And what color were the crafts that dropped out of the larger ship?
They were red, like
they
bright
were red, completely.
Yeah.
Bright red.
Yeah.
And how large? And can you tell or remember how large these red objects were? How low were they in the atmosphere, or were they really high up?
They were high. They were low enough for us to see. For whatever reason, we just couldn't see where they were coming from. I don't know what that was
Right.
about. But as far as it had to be pretty big for us to see them. But of course, from our vantage point, it didn't. It looked like small balls in the sky, but it had to be pretty big. Actually, I'm sure.
I would suspect if they were low to the area where you lived, like to say a couple hundred feet, even 1,000 feet above you, each one of those objects would be enormous. I mean, compared to a car or a truck or an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, we couldn't tell from that angle from where we're at. Yeah,
very interesting. And have you had any other encounters since that period?
No, just stories from friends. And I'm in New York City in the 5 boroughs, but one guy told me he was in a park one time and one hovered over a soccer field and they ran like hell. They were like, "Oh wow, this had to be in the 70s." But just various different stories from different people, so they're definitely out there.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny about New York, the Metro New York area. There's a long history of sightings above the New York metro area for years. For whatever reason, there's people say, well, the city, there's a lot of sightings in New York.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and you probably know that you live in New York in the metro area, so that's very interesting. I want to thank you for sharing that story. I think it's always good to get perspective from different cities too, because in the cities, be it France or London or New York or anywhere, these sightings can happen, and people say, well, they come over a city. They do. They can. These spaceships, whatever their purpose is, they will come over an area, and there could have been a purpose. All these people saw it that night. Maybe they wanted people to notice that they were there. Who knows?
Absolutely. And you're welcome. I'm continue listening to your show, and I appreciate your time.
You too, man. And we're on at 11 o'clock. Normally, I decided to do a 1-hour show this morning before I go to my regular work day. But I want to thank you, man, for being our first guest.
Likewise. Take care.
All right, brother. Take care. Hold on. Let me move down here.
Brother. Okay. Now.
All right. And that was a great story. This is what disclosure is about. You see, people think disclosure is about waiting for the Pentagon to release something. No. Disclosure is on this show. This is where you're going to have disclosure, right on Encounters. People's experiences are disclosure. They don't have to be, still in the military, or they don't have to be a common citizen in some rural town telling a story, and it's not disclosure. It is disclosure. If someone is taken on a spaceship, and I've had guests on here or taken off planet, and they come back and they tell the story. If someone's been abducted, that's disclosure. That's the stuff that the Pentagon will never tell you. Who cares about the Pentagon? They're never going to tell you what we tell you here. They're never going to tell you the things that our guests are going to tell you. Your neighbor might be coming up here on my show and talk for the first time about having contact for 10 years. Right? Thank you, cultural commentator. The person that went to Antarctica at 19 years old, and it's on my YouTube channel, Ask Recommend Spaceship News. Everybody's got to watch that. The gentleman who was in the Canadian military in Afghanistan, who talked about how the military was shooting missiles at unknown objects in the sky over Afghanistan in this area they were at, and they didn't blow anything up. These ships can destroy those missiles. These are this is disclosure. This is disclosure. You get it? This is where it's happening. I've been dedicated in my media life to busting the matrix and busting the cover up on this subject all over the world. And it's not just the United States government that's involved in covering it up. It's all the major players around the world for years. U.S. is the major player in controlling it, but all the other players are all over the world. China, Russia, all of them are involved. And all of them have been involved. So yeah. So we can do a few more stories. If you are a first-time viewer and you have a story to tell about a positive encounter you've had with space beings, we want to hear your story. That means you have to be over 18, no kids on the show, no cursing, no or foul language, whatever you want to call it, no drinking, no smoking, no vaping, no drunks, no paranormal discussion, no politics, and no religion. And of course, no trolls. If I find a troll on here, I will take them out in a nanosecond. Okay. So who else here would like to share some your own stories, whether it be like was just done about our New York guest sightings, an incredible report. If you've had any activity, if you've been visited by space people, don't be afraid to talk about it. I'm a contactee, so I can relate to your experience, you know? So if you've had contact, come forward. There's a multi-guest option. Adrian, Sci-Fi Cal. Adrian says, I can. Adrian, have you had contact? So tell me in the comment sections a little bit about yourselves, so I know what I'm dealing with in terms of your story. Let's see. And for me, the whole thing is that we will be going off planet between now and next year. So when I say this, it's true. I'm part of a group of 5 people that'll be going off. One of the 5 has already been going off planet for over 80 times. I'm pretty sure of it now. There's 4 other people in that other 4 group. We're going to be taken off planet by our space family. These are human beings. These are men and women. I later had a UFO sighting. Adrian, we'd like to bring you up. We'll bring you up in a moment, I think. But we're going to be taken off planet between now and next year. And we're going to come back. Usually when you go off planet, it goes for about an hour, and then we come back. So there's a whole story behind that whole thing. Let's see if we can bring Adrian up. Adrian, we're going to bring Adrian up here if he wishes to come up. I just sent you a guest request. Adrian is going to join us as our second guest. Normally we're on at night we had over 400 people on last night. That's our big show. We're trying to do some morning shows here. 400 people on last night. Adrian, welcome to the show. Adrian? Adrian, can you hear me? Oh, your mic is muted. Adrian, can you hear me?
Hello, yeah, I usually mute my mic when I come into lives. It causes an echo.
Oh, yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have earpods on or something, or Bluetooth?
Oh, no. Is there still an echo?
No, there's no echo now. It's good.
Well, cool. Yeah, cool.
So tell us where you are. Tell us where you are and tell us about your story.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm from the UK, London. The reason I think I've come here before, but the reason why I like to come on here and tell my stories so that other people who've had similar experiences can hopefully, I can get in touch with them. But when I was about 3, I was living in Tottenham, and in the garden, our garden was like an L shape, yeah. And all I remember is obviously when you're young, your memory is kind of like in fragments, isn't it? But I remember there was a kid in my garden. And obviously then I didn't see nothing wrong with it. But as I grew older, I just kept thinking back to it. And this kid looked different, weird, like big head. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I just remember talking with the kid and playing with the kid. Mm-hmm. Now, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a very weird experience. Obviously, this kid wasn't in the house. As I grew up, I spoke to my mom and she doesn't know who is it? Maybe it was an imaginary friend. Right. So there was that instance, and then I had a very bizarre experience when I saw a UFO. So basically, it was 2012. I'm in London. I'm in the garden, and it's around December. So I see from the distance, I see like an orange glow in the sky coming towards me very slowly. And I think, because it's near the new year, I'm thinking it's a celebration blimp or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, so as it's coming towards me, I'm thinking nothing of it. And then I see its form. It's like a triangle. It's got a glow in the middle. And I believe it had I wouldn't call it lights. They're like hazy orbs. Hazy. There's like a haze on each point of the triangle. And as it's flying over me, first thing that came to my head was military. That's not a normal plane. Right. And as it flew over my head, I'm not an aviation expert, so this is like in hindsight, like 2, 3 weeks later, I looked into it. But at the moment when it happened, they always tell you you're going to run in the house and look for the camera. No, not always. I knew I saw something weird, and what was the weirdest thing about it? It was absolutely silent. There wasn't a sound. And so I looked into it. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. So
Wow.
I looked. Sorry, I think there's a delay. Yeah, so I looked into it, and I discovered that hundreds of people in the UK alone, and across the world, thousands probably, have seen this same UFO since the 1980s at least, and it was silent back then. So there is something flying around, guys. I don't know if it's an alien or what, but it's not normal technology, and it's not seen often, and it flies very low.
Yeah, I would say that there's no aliens. So part of my teachings is to reword everything about extraterrestrials. So and it takes time because that's in our culture. But there are no aliens, but there are non-terrestrial beings. I think what you're expressing is a non-terrestrial extraterrestrial spaceship. And in the UK itself has had over the years many sightings and experiences. Reshram Air Force Base, which used to be, I met the person that wrote a book about military experiences on this base. It's a well-known story where they went out in the woods and there were these spaceships and these other ships that appeared, and this was and possibly even contact, and there were Americans on this base, and it's a very well-known story in the UK that happened years ago.
Yes, I've heard. It's Rendlesham Forest, is that correct?
Rendlesham Forest, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I believe I've looked into that one. I think that one was, I mean, to be honest with you, I can't tell the exact size of the one I saw, so it might have been the same size. I don't know. But yeah, it was. Sorry, go on.
No, there were in Rendlesham Forest, the base that used to be there. I met the people at a UFO conference years ago in Connecticut who wrote the book, and it was an amazing story of what they went through. Pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you now, I'll go in a minute. So let other people speak. But even now, to this very day, when I go into the garden at night, or if I have to walk outside at like 2, 1 in the morning, I look up in the sky because I kind of want to see it, but I don't want to see it again by myself because the way it flew, it was so sneaky, like it didn't really want to be seen. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Well, one of the things you do is you should download the C5 app. It's a Dr. Stephen Greer app. If you have an Android phone on Google Play, it's like $10 US. But if you download it, it gives you the protocol of having positive contact. And also there's different tones and sounds which you can use. So for your situation, I'd recommend after the show downloading it and practicing using it. Like find a place where you go in a field, with your better half or whatever, or friends.
Yeah, not by myself.
not by yourself. Go with your friends. Find a space. I don't know if you're near the water or where you are, but find a place where there's less light pollution. Use the app and let us know what happens. I'd like to see after you use the app what kind of experiences you have.
Okay, I'm gonna check that. I've heard of this. I've heard of what's his name? David Greer.
It's Dr. Stephen Greer. He's in the United States here. Yeah. I interviewed him back in the 90s on a TV program I was doing at the New Hampshire MUFON conference before he was well known, and he created the whole CU5 app.
Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you, Adrian. Thanks for being over here in the UK. Thank you for coming on. Have a great morning. See you
too. Thank you.
All right, we're going to do this here. 2 interesting stories here, and we're going to do a few more interviews here. This is Encounters, the morning show, and good morning, Grace. Good morning, everybody who's in here. Excuse me. It's now about 9:58 on the East Coast of the U.S. on planet Earth, and if you'd like to be a part of the show and you have a story to tell, if you've been visited by space people and have had real experiences, we'd certainly love to hear your story. You got to be over 18. No cursing, no foul language, no children on the show, no religion, no paranormal discussion, no politics, no trolls, all that stuff. So let me see. I'm pretty sure out of 115 people, there's some other folks out here that have had personal experiences with space people or visitations. Has anybody out here who's new had a visitation? Anyone? Anybody out here have any visitations? Any new people? You've kept it quiet for a couple of years or all your life, and you're having contact. Jay says he has had contact. Jay, tell us a little bit about your situation, and if you have enough followers, green orbs. And for new people like Jay, you might want to consider creating your own profile so you have an image on your picture area. Let me just see here. So I'm going to bring Jay up. Jay talks about green orbs. And there's a multi-guest option, Jay. If you wish to come up, you can certainly do it. Nessa 77, 3 positive contacts we've had since moving to Connecticut at our new home. No light pollution. Hey, Nessa. Laura Dog, welcome to our show. And Clayton Allen CR, welcome to Encounters, the morning edition. We're normally at night at 11 o'clock. Mango Roll Sue. Heather, welcome to the show. And Jay says, I don't want them to come back. The grays are blocking you. Let's see here. I didn't know that, Nessa. Nessa, we're going to like to bring you up here. We could clear the blockage and stop the Zeta from doing that. I didn't know about that. Hey, Nessa, welcome to the morning show.
Hi, Commander. How are you?
Good. I was reading your comment. I didn't know about that thing with the Zeta doing that to you.
Yes, I think that's what's happening. I've been feeling like my crown has been blocked a little bit. And then I found this wonderful healing studio, and she has a crystal resonance bed. And it was just absolutely amazing. She believes this machine has a conscience. But anyways, it was about an hour I was in there, and it worked on all my chakras. It started at my feet and went up to my head. But as it got to my head, I had like this vision of all these black circles. And then they grouped together like eyes, and then a group of grays formed around it.
That was why you were doing that thing?
Yes, it was at the end, so it had worked on my whole body. And then I could feel it working on my head, and that's when I had that vision.
Hey, Taz, good to see you, brother. So how would you like me to take care of that and have it disappear?
I would love that.
Okay. We're going to go into Ashtar Command Conscious mode. Excuse me. For those that have watched me, everything I do is documented. What I'm going to do here remotely is deal with the Zeta that are involved in your consciousness right now. We're going to send those Zeta into the far reaches of space, and they're never going to block you again. So if people have never seen me do this, this is real what I do. There's no hocus pocus. I don't have any pendulums. I'm not throwing cards in the air. I have no neon signs glittering. I have no crystal balls here. Like I said, I'm not from this planet. I came here to Earth from off planet. I'm with the Ashtar Command, which are Christed beings of light. And to tell you the truth, we have a lot more power than any Zeta does, and they're no match for us. So what I'm going to do is help you. So I want you to close your eyes, Nessa.
Okay.
And when you close your eyes, I want you to take a deep breath in and release out of your nostrils about 3 or 4 times until you're totally relaxed. Tell me when you're relaxed.
Okay, I feel good.
Okay. I'm going to start working on you remotely here in a few minutes. My palms are going to have a heat signature of energy. As you keep your eyes closed, we will build up a beam of light that will go into your brain. And when you start feeling the energy, please let me know.
I definitely feel energy. I'm super hot all of a sudden.
Yes. So we're going to go into the area where they put the blockage. What they're doing is they have something they did where they're trying to monitor you and block you. This will only take a few minutes. We're going to destroy whatever they've tried to put into you to block your consciousness. At the same time, I'm going to elevate your frequency beyond the Zeta. Their frequency is a low frequency or vibrational pattern. Where we're bringing you up to right now, where I'm bringing you up to is way up there. They won't be able to even see you anymore. At the same token, we're going to take care of the Zeta right now that are still connected with you. We're going to disconnect their connection to you. I'm going to do this right now. They're not going to like what I'm doing. They don't have to like what I'm doing, but they don't like what they're doing to you, so we're going to stop it. What I'm doing right now, Nessa, is reconnecting areas of your brain that they disconnected from your ability to have clear contact on a higher level frequency. I'm repairing what they did to you. And some of you watching this might be affected by what I'm doing, but we'll have you completely healed in a moment. As you keep your eyes closed, in the area where you started being blocked, let me know when the blockage has disappeared or the black circles or whatever they are have disappeared. We're actually taking them out. I'm taking them out, and we are destroying them, so to speak.
Oh my God, my eyes are shaking. My whole body is sweating. I feel better. I don't feel hot anymore.
I'm almost done. Just one final thing here to do. They can't stop me at all. I'm with the Ashtar Command. There's no way they can stop me. I work in Christ consciousness. They don't. Okay, I've destroyed it.
Wow, Commander, thank you so much.
I destroyed it. I want you to know that you're a beautiful soul, and now you'll be able to meditate and connect with the positive beings of light from now on.
Yay, thank you so much.
Yeah, the Zeta are I can handle the Zeta. The Zeta are no match for me. They're afraid of me because I work in the Christ consciousness always. And they're afraid of the light. They messed up their own world, so now they're trying to mess up other human beings by trying to control their consciousness. I will take that situation and destroy it in 2 seconds. You're now healed of that situation. I want you to say this. I want you to keep your eyes closed for a moment. That I am a Christed being of light,
I am a Christed being of light,
and the Zeta will no longer be in my energy field.
and the Zeta will no longer be in my energy field.
And I now stand in my strength,
And I now stand in my strength,
and I now stand in my light,
and I now stand in my light,
and I am free.
and I am free.
You are free.
Thanks,
Blessings to you.
Commander.
Blessings.
Thank you so much. I will see you this weekend.
Yes, you will.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. And we're going to have a good night, too. It's going to be perfect weather.
Yes, I saw that. It's going to be gorgeous.
And we'll see some ships. We're going to have contact with our space command, so we're going to see some ships. All
I
right,
feel
Nessa,
so
I'm going
much
to let
better.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm glad I was able to get rid of that. Yeah, thank you for coming up. See, we just, again, documented what I do here, brothers and sisters. Like I said, I'm from the Ashtar Command. I am human. I'm having the human experience. I have a job like every other human being, but I am not from here. I came here on purpose. What I do is real. Everything I do is documented. This show will be on my Ashtar Command Spaceship News channel on YouTube. And you can see it. Hey, Wisdom Keeper. Wait a minute. Ed, Wisdom Keeper is on the planet.
Ah.
Hey, oh, man. Oh, my God, you changed. Where's your spacesuit? Oh, my God,
it's
all
right
in
here.
time.
This is me in an old life right here.
I kind of believe it. You've really gotten more organized since then. That's great. How have you been, brother?
I've been good. I've been good. I just been oh, whoa, I didn't even notice that it said that there. Just getting ready for the conference. It's coming up in November, so
Yeah.
we're gonna be I have a lot of responsibility to the Star Knowledge Conference because I'm gonna be setting up more cameras, more
Yeah.
I had to buy new microphones, and I have a lot of responsibility to the
Wow.
conferences. So
Yeah.
and then I actually had to, because I'm going to start the Star Knowledge podcast pretty soon. So I'm going to have somebody. I had to call the founder's daughter, the one that's taken over now. I had to call her and ask for some funds to get an assistant that I can train to run the Star Knowledge Conference, because with that opportunity, with so many speakers being there, I want to be able to record multiple speakers that are going to be there, but record podcasts while the conference is going
Yeah.
on. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm gonna try.
You're gonna jump into something here and find out what happens.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What I'll do privately is I'll send you a link.
Yeah.
So you can, if you want to join us on a live feed,
Yeah.
so you can see what the conferences are about there. This one's going to be, we're actually moving this conference from South Dakota to Santa Cruz, California, as far as I heard.
Really? Okay.
Well, this one in
Interesting.
particular, the 1111 Star Knowledge Conference, but we're most likely going to start another one, and we're gonna have to coordinate with the people that do the Serpent Mound Star Knowledge conferences. So schedules don't conflict, and we can actually have them come and be a part of another inception of the Star Knowledge. And we're just going to expand. And so because we talked last year and earlier this year about maybe you coming out, the schedule, I mean, we have Alanis Morissette's husband coming to perform. I was like,
what?
How'd you get him? Yeah. And he's so cool. I guess. So I guess because he was invited and he's going to come and sing and perform for us. Alanis was like, "Oh well, I want to meet them," but she was on tour.
Right.
So they had Nikki, which is Chief's daughter,
Yeah.
go out to a concert so she could meet her in person.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, that is so cool,
Beautiful.
man. It's
That is
such
cool.
a fun ride with these people, you know. But you know, I'm excited for everything. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna message you, and you know what I said. Scroll back through our messages, get my phone number so we can talk.
Right.
I'm going to invite you once we get the Star Knowledge podcast going. I'm going to have you come out and hang out and talk. You know.
Okay, and I'll definitely have to. I'll have to schedule. You know,
we'll have to schedule.
I'm going to have to schedule with my work. I'm going to have to schedule it so I can take time off, and most likely my wife will want to be with me. So you know that's another deal. So. Yeah,
well,
this
you
is
know,
great.
I mean, you're not too far, right? You're what on the East Coast?
I'm in Connecticut, in the East Coast.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, that's a long drive, and we'd have to fly you out. So we'd fly you out, and the hotels there are cheap. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and the funny thing is, we have friends that have family in San Diego, California, and we might be heading out there in the next month or two. I don't know yet. That's a whole nother. I haven't mentioned it on here, but. We'll know when that nothing's written in stone yet, but they have family out there, and if I go out there, my goal is to go on the beach and set up live to to capture some spaceships.
Yeah.
So I've heard about California.
We, like I said, we will. I'm gonna have to put you in contact. I mean, I'm telling you, once you get into this, like, get your foot in the door with these people. Like, we have our friends that live right down the road from us. They go to the ranch. What is it called? Is it Skywalker Ranch?
Yeah, I don't want to go there.
No, not Skinwalker. It's the other one. No, I ain't going to the Skinwalker Ranch. The one where it's I think it's Oregon or Washington, where you can go like see UFOs like almost every night. Like they
have the more positive. They have positive contact.
Yes.
That's
and there's a lot of
thing.
people that go to visit them. So
Yeah.
we know those people. I don't know them, but you know we're all in the same circles. So
Yeah.
you know they our people go out there and visit with them and hang out and stuff. And you know there's a little bit of lux that comes with this. I always say I'm in the little pond, but that's not the truth. You know the truth is we're all once we're all connected and we're all. You know, these people are really rad. You know, we had.
Do you know what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do you know what's happening? Do you've heard about April up in Vermont? Are you familiar with April, or no? Friends with Fairies.
Friends with Fairies, yes.
Okay, so this is another story that you're going to be interested in. She went on the ship a while ago, and she met with the council. They're trying to talk about who's going to represent them from off planet to speak to the people of Earth. They're going to broadcast and take over all the transmitters. So they agreed that I should be the one because I was involved in intergalactic communications before coming to Earth. I have a great knowledge of media, which I love. And so they said, we want the commander to be our representative. So what they're going to do is, you and I both know, and people know that the space people don't operate in time. The time is not relevant to them. It's no relevancy. It doesn't work that way. So they've decided that I'm going to, whenever that is, I don't know, they'll probably come into my room, open a rift and say, Commander, it's time. And when that time is, it'll be before the major contact happens. They've stated that I will be in a control room in a comfortable seat, and I will somehow, however they do it, I don't know. So all I know is that I'm supposed to broadcast in a spacesuit, maybe. I'll be on the ship and I'll be broadcasting, and they'll take over all the transmitters on Earth on every TV station and cable network. So
nice.
I'm still the same humble person I am. I look at this as a big responsibility, talking to billions of people. And also the same token, they will have a translating system that will translate my words into every language on the planet. No matter what the language is, even if it's a language we've never heard of.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's, we call it language, which is like we define communication. So
Right.
it's a lower octave to call it language, but it's when you communicate. It's funny because I was sitting outside with Robin the other day, and we heard this bird squawking, and she says, "Oh, you can hear that bird. That bird's excited." I said, "Oh yeah, that bird's excited. He's calling the troops. Like there's some danger around his nest." And then so he's bah 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 bah. And the next thing you know, we hear the other one bah 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 bah. And we're like, and I was like, "See?" And then you hear them coming closer. They go to them, then they go over there, and then they're all bah 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 bah.
Oh my gosh!
To whatever was like going around their nest. And she was like, I was like, it's just communication. Where the language barrier is only when we don't, like, we have to, there's a deep listening, so it's, you could go to any country and literally like just sit there and listen for a couple of days, and you'll be like, wow, I actually understand this language. But it takes that deep listening. That's all. And once you get into that mode, what you're communicating.
Right.
That's what people will hear, but they'll hear it in their own language.
And the thing is, they've told me, people have told me what they said. I don't know what they want me to say. Whatever it is, I'm gonna probably be, prepped on it before I go in front of the camera. Yeah,
you'll definitely know.
I'll know. It'll be. They'll know that they'll have confidence. Obviously, they have confidence in me because I came from my family. My father, my mother, Robar and Luna is my mother and father. I have two sisters and a brother on the ship, so I'll be meeting them for the first time too. Nice. It's going to be quite an experience.
People don't know; they don't understand and it's because not because they don't understand. It's we came here and we're so powerful that we gave ourselves amnesia to have a human experience.
Oh, we sure did.
And then there's some that have been here on this planet so long that they forgot everything. They're just like, they're in sim mode. And it's not something to be frowned upon, because I've had this conversation with people and they start using that word NPC and stuff. And I'm like, well, in your reality, they're NPC and they're all, do they have souls? And I'm like, everything is light. Everything is light. Everything has souls. I don't care if they're, ugly monsters that, little vampire monster things. Even if they are funky looking, ugly, or, there's some miscommunication with them, they're still light. It's a dim light. It doesn't mean that there's no light. There's no possible way that light cannot exist in each and everything. And so when you, what you're doing earlier, even with the greys, because they have a dim light. They are very powerful beings, but they have a dim light. So when you speak in light, then that chases that away.
And in her case, the woman, Nessa, my friend Nessa, she never told me that. And I've been activated by my father when I was on the ship. He touched my forehead and did something. And my cat's saying Mal, but, she's mowing a lot. But, so when he touched my forehead, all of a sudden, when I started doing these remote things to people that were having implants, I've had two experiences in the last 2 days. Actually, more than that, I've actually dissolved the implants and destroyed them remotely. How many people can say that? There's no hocus pocus. You know me. I don't play that game, and I am learning that I'm being given activations from my space family that I'm utilizing in the right way. And I'm not overdoing it. I'm just doing it for people that come with a story like that. I don't want to see anybody with implants in their arm, in their head. I've actually destroyed them. I had one last night, a former military person in Canada. He had an implant up in here. And when I got done, he said it wasn't there anymore. It was totally destroyed. I used the word destroyed. You have an implant there?
That's inactive though. This one's been inactive for a long time. Since I met Chief, we went into like sweats. He says like sweat lodges. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it'll just break them up into oblivion. Because it used to affect me, but
Yeah.
and so like kind of distort my reality to like kind
Yeah.
of bending to their will. But since I
So
traveled
you're
with him,
totally free of that, right? Correct?
oh dude, oh man, it used to weird me out because like people would start acting strange in front of me, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? And like,
Yeah.
why are you? This is out of character. So I didn't understand
Yeah.
why people were acting out of character. And then after I started going to lodges and all this stuff, and just gone, I had a totally different experience, and I haven't had that
good.
experience since. I
Good.
can
I
actually,
was
when
gonna
people
say-
are acting out of character or
Right.
acting, weird, then I just know. I know it's just
Right.
them being whatever.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because if you were still having problems, I was going to just gift you and take care of the problem, but I don't have to do anything.
Oh yeah, no, dude, life is amazing right now.
Well, I know we're getting up to 10:30 Eastern. Are you able to come on tonight at all? Are you going to be available tonight, you think?
Let's see. I think I have a show at 3 for something else. Just after that, I should be available tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's promote the conference, talk about it. I'll be on after 11 o'clock tonight, and I'd love to have you back. As Ed's a dear friend of the show, and it's really going to be great. And I'm going to have to look for your number, and we'll talk and about me coming out to speak or whatever it is.
Oh,
We'll
absolutely,
figure that out.
absolutely. We'll definitely do that. And then I just want to answer Amanda's question real quick, because everybody's saying,
I see that. Yes.
they're responding. Nobody's. She said, "Is are people chosen
To be
to
contacted.
be contacted?" No. If you want to experience contact, there is just a certain thing that you have to do. Is you have to be clear. You have to be clear of yourself, because if you still live in a world where you're lying or cheating or stealing or doing anything that's out of integrity, that creates a vibration that they don't like, because they want, or fear. They don't like that vibrations. They don't want you to be afraid. They don't want you to be angry. They want you to have like the best experience with them, and so when you can clear yourself of those negative vibrations, and it's just like a simple meditation even can clear you of that. It's not like years of work. So if you can clear yourself and then open yourself up to a higher vibration, then you can have those experiences. Nobody here is different.
Right.
I'm not
No
different.
different.
I've had dozens of experiences.
Right. And what Ed's saying is right. You see, Amanda, it's like when people say, wow, Commander's doing all this stuff and all these other people. So it's, there's situations that are, it's organic. What happened with me in April and our friend Chesno in Connecticut. We have Johnny of the Third Kind in New Jersey, and Kit Kat, who is in Long Island. And I've met Kit Kat. She came up to one of our gatherings here. So there's going to be different experiences and reasons for things happening that we have no idea why, but they're just happening now. Like, who knew in 2024 I'd be on TikTok, in 2023 I'd meet all these people and certain people, and then I'd find out one person's been going on a ship in Vermont. She meets my parents that are off planet, and I'm going to meet them. I mean, you can't make that stuff. You can't orchestrate or to plan this. Everything is in divine timing, which I totally believe. And I think, Amanda, for you'll have your contact. I think everybody will. It's just a matter of divine timing. There's no way to tell you what day you're going to have it happen, what night. It's just going to happen, and you're going to say, "What's going on here?" I think
there's a certain level of when you start to your awareness and understanding clarity. When you start to understand what that does to you as a being and as a being of light, then you go, "Oh, okay, I get it. I got to release that in order to have that." And so
now, Eloise is saying, I'm still having problems. Eloise, if you come on tonight, I will get rid of the Zeta. If you come on tonight, I will work with you, and I will really kick their butt, so to speak. So please come on tonight. I promise I'll help you out. Any final words, Ed, before we... Yeah, no, I wish we had more time.
We'll
We'll have
talk
a lot
later.
more time tonight for sure. So Ed is a dear friend of the show. Tell us about the conference for people that are watching right now. Any final words about that?
Let's see. If you want, go on to Facebook, look up Star Knowledge Conference. Anything Star Knowledge, really. You'll find Nikki Zephyr. If you guys want to watch the 3-day conference or even just 1 day, there is a way for you to join the live stream. I'm going to be the production guy. Hopefully, I do a good job. Don't
Oh,
judge
you
me.
will. You'll do a good job.
But it's 11/11, so it's November 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Mhm.
So it's that weekend. And we have some great speakers coming. I mean, if anybody's ever heard of Wallace Black Elk, he wrote a book called Black Elk Speaks. His grandson's going to be speaking there. Joe Plum is a bard. We have a couple of different chiefs that are going to be there that are speaking. Nikki's going to speak. That's the founder of the Star Knowledge Conferences that have been going on for about 30 years.
Wow.
He's going to be speaking. We have amazing people that are going to be there. And I think we actually have a few more as well that are not on here, but
Yeah.
we have people from all over the world that are going to be speaking here. So
Yeah.
if you guys are interested, you can always reach out to me. Maybe I can get you. Oh, here we go. At the bottom, it says starknowledge1111.com. And then there's a phone number there to reach out
And
to Nikki.
can you read the phone number, because it's on the screen? It shows everything reversed.
Oh, yeah, let me, people can reach out to me because I think that's her personal number.
Oh, no, okay. You'll just have them reach out
Hopefully
to
it's
you.
her business number, not her personal
Yeah,
number.
I would hope so. I don't want to start a thing here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, what happened? You went on the most popular UFO talk show, and I have thousands of people calling me up now.
Yeah. I want to get the
I was
books. Like, where do I
sleeping.
buy tickets?
You just woke me up out of bed. Who are you? No, that's
Yeah.
no.
What?
What? Yeah, thank you for being
I
on
don't
here
want to
this
catch
morning.
heat from Nikki.
I don't have any problems here. Hey, thank you, man, for being on here this morning. We'll have Ed back on with us tonight. Oh, that's cool. What is that?
Yeah, these are old 70s magazines. Look, I picked up a bunch because I'm gonna display them around the Star Knowledge conference.
Oh, wow, cool.
Ancient astronauts. Yeah, I found a bunch of like really cool stuff online. I'm like, yeah, I want to decorate
look
the
at
place
that.
more.
Yeah.
You know, it's so cool. I didn't even know these things existed. I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah, there were a lot of these
Yeah.
UFO magazines. I remember them too, yeah. Hey, well, Ed, we're going to definitely let you go and do what you need to do. We'll see you tonight at some point. I want to thank everybody for being here. This has been Encounters. Ed's been our guest. I want to thank all my guests for being here. Adrian in the UK, all my guests, and my first guest in New York. Thank you for being here. I'm talking about the sighting in New York, which is interesting as well. We'll see you again tonight. And again, this show will be on my YouTube channel, Astro Command Spaceship News. Do go there. You can watch all the previous shows of Encounters, which is the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. I don't care on anywhere on social media. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good day. Be well. And keep your eyes to the skies when you're not driving. Let's see here. I'm going to try to buzz myself out of here. Okay, we're going to do this thing here. Take care, everybody. We'll see you tonight.